Here's the hardcore way to learn any Romance language in 3 to 6 months. So, how do you learn a language in 3 to 6 months? Like, fluently. In actual, like, when I mean by being fluent, like, you're actually fluent in a language. Like, you can go to France and you can literally understand 100% what they're saying. Like, that type of fluency, right? And you can talk to anyone with ease with a near native perfect accent. So, how can you achieve this within 3 to 6 months? And I'm talking hardcore. Like, this is not for people that are weak, okay? Like, this is for people that really want to dedicate themselves to learning a Romance language, right? And to learn it as fast as possible. Now, the reason why I specifically say Romance languages is because this is something that's physically and intellectually, I think, impossible to do with Chinese or Japanese. You cannot learn true fluency with Chinese or Japanese in just 3 to 6 months. It's literally impossible. It does not matter if you spent 16 hours a day and got, 8 hours of sleep. Even if you spend like 16 hours a day, constantly, every single day, learning Japanese and exposing yourself to Japanese, like let's say you had no job and you had enough money, invested, and you were able to you have to pay someone to basically bring you food, right? The entire time, and you spent literally 16 hours a day with the language, you still wouldn't be able to achieve fluency in Japanese in 3 to 6 months. You still wouldn't be able to do that because Japanese and Chinese, and even Asian languages, they're just on a completely different level, right? When it comes to difficulty. Because I've noticed that I learned Japanese, it took me 4 times the amount to learn Japanese than French. So this will not work with Japanese, okay? If you want to learn Japanese, you're going to have to take your time and you're going to have to really expect way longer to learn language. I mean 2 to 3 years. 2 years is typically, if you spend 6 to 8 hours a day, 2 years would be a good ballpark of how long it would take to get fluent. But when it comes to French and Spanish and all those other Romance languages, those European languages like Italian, Portuguese, all those languages, easy, so easy in comparison to Japanese. So you guys will be able to do this in 3 to 6 months and learn it and actually get fluent if you guys are hardcore. And I mean hardcore, guys. This is a hardcore protocol, okay? It's only for people that really want to learn it fast, right? Let's say you have 3 months or maybe 4, 5 months where you're not working that much. This is a hardcore, guys. I mean, you're actually not working that much. You already have enough money saved up for you to survive without work for this period of time. This is how you do it, guys. So what you're gonna do is you're just literally gonna go hard, balls to the walls. Basically, just immerse yourself for 12 hours a day. If you do this 12 hours a day with French, so basically, what I recommend you guys do is you split the time up between 1 hour of spaced repetition system. So do 1 hour of Anki. So basically, you're gonna spend 1 hour of the day. I recommend this be the first thing out of the bat because, we want to get the conscious stuff in learning out of the way, right? So you're gonna spend 1 hour in your first waking hours, basically just repping Anki cards. So go to Anki, find a French deck, find a deck or a Spanish deck. Find a deck where you can learn the most common words of French, of Spanish, whatever Romance language you wish to learn. Just go to the deck, go to Anki, and just find the deck that has all those most frequent words, right? And you're gonna spend maybe roughly 30 minutes to an hour on ripping those cards. So learning the most common words. This is basically a conscious study. This is a study where you're focused on learning vocabulary mainly, and if you want, you can kind of dabble in and kind of read grammar. Now, I don't recommend you do any grammar drills. I just said read grammar, which means that you want to read maybe a grammar manual. You can use ChatGPT. I think ChatGPT has gotten really good recently. So you can use ChatGPT to explain certain parts of the French or Spanish grammar that you don't understand. This is where ChatGPT has wow. I'm so impressed. If I had ChatGPT when I was learning a language, I would have abused it. Okay? Because right now ChatGPT is actually insane when it comes to explaining certain grammar patterns and words. So I'll definitely use ChatGPT for the dictionary. And the way I recommend you guys do it is a lot of people when they look up a new word in a foreign language, they see the word and then they have the English equivalent of that word, right? Another English word of that meaning, right? But this is false because you don't want to do this because just because a word is similar to English does not mean that it means the exact same thing. Because across languages, the words have different meanings and have different usages. So what you want to do on ChatGPT is if you're trying to learn a new word, what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to type in the word that you don't know, and then you basically type in the French word, and you basically just say, explain this word to me in English, or explain, like, you paste in the word meaning of this in French. So basically, if you do this, then it'll explain to you the French meaning of the word, but in English, because you don't understand French yet. So if you do it like this, then you can actually learn the exact meaning of the word without you having to, use like a bilingual dictionary that just shows you the English word. Because just an English word that is similar to the French word is not going to be enough of an explanation. If you can have ChatGPT really just like tell you the precise meaning of the word in English, like, is a busted way. Like, I actually started using this when I was learning French last summer, because there was a couple words that I didn't know, and every word I didn't know in French, and I looked it up through this method of ChatGPT, it gave me like the perfect explanation of the French word. Like, I was like, oh my, I was so amazed. I was like, wow, it like actually explained this word perfectly, and it showed me like example sentences. It showed me like how to be used. Like, it's perfect, guys. So I recommend using ChatGPT and Anki for the conscious learning. And then what you're gonna do is, for the rest of the day, so for the other 11 hours that you have, right, hardcore, like, this is hardcore, guys. Like, like, if you guys really are serious about learning a language, like, if you can dedicate 3 months, you can get extremely native, almost native-like level in 3 months. I'm telling you guys, this is the path. Of course, it's not possible with Japanese. Japanese is gonna take way longer, but with French, it's possible, okay? So after that, then you're just literally gonna binge, and I mean binge, like, a ton of YouTube and Netflix TV shows. So you're gonna literally watch every single, like, French TV show or movie in existence. You're just gonna immerse yourself in that. You're just gonna listen and watch TV all day, right? And what this is gonna do is this is going to internalize the language. You're going to basically acquire the language, right? This is going to allow you to get exposed to the language, and the most frequent word patterns, grammar patterns will appear and pop up even more and more and more, when you immerse yourself all day. And what's going to happen is when you go to your conscious study every morning, so like that 1 hour that you invest on consciously learning the language, the time you spend there, if you learn like a word in that morning, you might be able to hear that same word like in a TV show, right? So now what you're doing, like, consciously in your learning, you're going to pick out those words in your immersion when you're watching your YouTube video or your TV show. So you're literally just going to binge every TV show out there. You're going to binge every, like, YouTube videos. Like, try to find, like, YouTubers that you like and you vibe with. I would even go to Twitch streamer. For French, I use, like, a lot of Twitch streamers. I watch, like, Locklear. I watch Inoxtag. I'll go to his streams. Michou, and Squeezy aussi. So, like, these guys are amazing French YouTubers that, I would recommend you guys watch. They're, like, of course, mainstream. And if you guys, like, can find, like, smaller streamers, but for me, like, I use those guys for me to learn French. And I basically just hopped onto their stream. And streaming is good because it's, like, literally hours of content, right? It's not like a YouTube video where it's only, like, 20 minutes. Because, remember, we're spending 11 hours a day. Like, we don't have 20 minutes to freaking be immersing. We gotta spend 11 hours a day doing this crap, okay? So, just a merely 20-minute video is not enough. Like, you gotta be watching, like streams, like whole entire streams. You gotta be watching, like, whole entire seasons of TV shows. Like, I'm talking that amount of time just for 3 months. Remember, this is like a 3-month protocol. Like, this is just a protocol, a very hardcore protocol to get very good at French very fast, okay? And after this, bro, you will literally be a freaking demon in French. You'll be a demon. Because remember, the more time you compress your learning of French or, like, any Romance language, the faster you learn a language, because the more frequently you come across certain words, right? So if you were to come across a relatively rare word, because you're spending literally 11 hours a day, like, on the balls of the walls with that language, you're going to hear that rare word a lot more frequently. So you'll be able to learn it faster. Whereas, like, if you're taking your sweet time and only spending 2 hours a day versus 12 hours, you're not going to come across that word as frequently. So it's also not just about the total amount of time you spend with the language, it's the amount of compressed time that you learn the language. So this is why, like, if you do this hardcore protocol for 12 hours a day learning language, you might be able to get fluent in a foreign language, like, almost native level in 3 months. Like, it's possible. But remember, this is 12 hours a day. Like, this is no joke. This means, like, you literally have no work. You have money saved up for you to, like, if I was going to do this, bro, like, I would actually have money saved up, like, for expenses, right? For living, right? Like I'll just stop working for a period of time, have money saved up, and then go balls to the walls with something like this. I don't know. I might do it with Arabic because like I'm gonna have to learn Arabic. So I don't know. This is something I might do, but this is like I don't know because with Arabic, bro, I might have to take it a little bit slower because it's a very hard language. You know what I mean? So with Arabic, I'm probably not going to be able to learn it within 3 months, even if I spend like 12 hours a day. Like it's not possible for me to learn Arabic that fast. At least for me, right? Because I know like Arabic and Japanese are on the same level of difficulty in difference in language. I might be able to do it with French, like definitely with Spanish. Like if I had to learn, I could learn Spanish in like 3 months, definitely. If I spend like 12 hours a day, yeah, definitely, I'd be able to do it. But with the language like Arabic, no way. So I don't know. But at least with these Romance languages, if you're an English speaker, you can learn at like French and Spanish within like a very short amount of time, especially if you spend 12 hours a day. So yeah, like you're pretty much getting like I can't say the exact month. Maybe in between like 3 months and 6 months would be like the time frame that you would get like really good, right? If you spend 12 hours a day. I mean, maybe here's the thing. Maybe 3 months would be like you'd be able to be fluent like conversationally. And if you wanted to be like super like demon level like French, like you wanted to be able to read like hard books, like right here I have like Le Comte de Monte Cristo right here. Like for this, bro, like I can't really read this book. Like this is a book. This is like a famous like book in France, but I can't read this. I literally can't read this book. Like for me, I mean I can like read it, but there's so many words that like I don't know in this that like I can't. It's unreadable for me. But I can turn on like any live stream, any podcast in French and understand it like easily. So the difference between like YouTube videos and this is humongous. Like just the difference in vocabulary and difficulty that you're going to need, right? It's just going to be completely different. So maybe if you spend 12 hours a day, you can reach this level in 6 months. But at least for like conversational fluency, right? In terms of talking to people, understanding like YouTube shows, like YouTube videos, podcasts, all these things, you can understand that roughly within 3 months, I think. That would be like a good time frame, I would estimate. So yeah, guys, that's like the hardcore way to learn any Romance language in 3 months. So yeah, guys, this is how I would do it, but this is only if you have time. Remember, you're gonna have to like go balls to the walls with this, all right? So yeah, if you have the time, this is how I do it, and it's definitely worth it. Remember, it's just 3 months. It's just 3 months, and you'll be fluent for life. Like I'm telling you guys, okay? So have a great rest of the day, and that's it.